I'd like to go to another topic for a moment. Steve Schneider is one of the most important climatologists. He had a voice that was heard around the world. Some people disagreed with him. Some people agreed. He probably helped educate the public more than most climatologists. We lost him recently. And what impact does the loss of Steve Schneider have on the climate change discussion?
He was a convincing voice. People trusted him. People believed him. He had done himself a lot of really important work. He understood what the issues were. He knew how to express them, and people would listen.
All right. And let's see, I believe you report into a fellow named Chris Field, who is somewhat of a leader in the Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change,
Good
the
for you.
IPCC.
Good for you.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
And do you sometimes assist him with work related to the IPCC?
I do a little bit of that. I mostly work on the climate change side for the research part of what Chris does. Chris has two jobs. One is his work in the IPCC. The other is as director of the Department of Global Ecology. And I work mostly with him on the global ecology side.
Okay. And how long have you been with, you've been a scientist and educator most of your life.
Right. That's too long to think about.
How many years have you been focused on climate change?
About the last 4.
And what impact has this focus had on your life?
It's made me understand how much more complicated this whole thing was than I had appreciated before I got into it. There are so many factors that it's hard to fathom all of them. But the other thing is that I have become more convinced than ever, yes, it's real, and it's happening faster than we thought.
All right. Why do you think there are so many skeptics in the world who, they're called deniers of climate change, and they don't trust you?
Right. Everybody has their own beliefs. It's not only in the area of religion, but in other things that we do. People have their own beliefs about their food and their nutrition and their diet. People have their own beliefs about how their automobile works and what they ought to do. People have their own belief about their environment. And a simple scientific statement will not necessarily talk them out of that. So I think we as a scientific community have not been as effective as we might in helping people rethink this.
All right, if people have beliefs, it's hard to change their beliefs.
Right.
If it's hard to change their beliefs, how do you make progress with these folks?
Slowly.
Slowly. Is there a particular belief that is inculcated in their thinking that you want to work toward?
No, because we're not talking about everybody having the same belief that is standing in their way. Everybody has their own take on this whole thing. And so you have to take them one at a time.
Okay. I heard that you're a composer, a musician, and you developed something that's the world of the arts to help educate the public about climate change. Am I incorrect?
No, you're right. It's a little bit like what you have been doing with your painting. I mean, we do this because we have a gift that we like to share, and sometimes we have a hope that it might influence somebody else other than just ourselves. And I'm sure you have, I'm putting words in your mouth, but I'm sure that some of that is making you do this as well.
Oh, I love making art to try to get a message out
Right.
and influence the public on things that I think are good for the public. to accept. Excuse me. Hi, I'm Michael Killen, and my guest has been Marion O'Leary from the Carnegie Institute of Science, and we're going to keep chatting for a little while until it's time for the credit rolls. And so you've been a wonderful guest.
Thank you.
And one of your roles is to work with the foundations. And can I ask you, where is the level of thinking of the major foundations with respect to climate change? And you got 10 seconds.
There are a large number of foundations that are very interested both in telling the story of climate change and in supporting the basic science.
Okay, thank you. Michael Killen, and I've been with Marion O'Leary.